Place the steak in boiling water. I learned this in five-star restaurant kitchens. In the already boiling water, I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt. Next, I add 1 teaspoon of dried parsley and also 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, which pairs perfectly with red meats and adds a special touch. Now that the water is well seasoned, I'll carefully place the steak into the pot to avoid splashing. I let the steak cook for about 5 minutes, just to give it a light pre-cook without fully cooking the meat. Now that 5 minutes have passed, I'll remove the steak from the boiling water using a slotted spoon. Look how it turned out. Just a quick pre-cook to help with texture and tenderness without losing the meat's juices. Next, I place the steak on a paper towel to absorb the excess water, which can interfere with the frying process. It's important to dry it well, gently pressing with another paper towel to ensure safe and effective frying. Now that it's nice and dry, let's season the steak with simple ingredients that make all the difference. I start with a pinch of salt, spreading it well over the entire surface of the meat. And I also add a bit of freshly ground black pepper to enhance the flavor. I sprinkle it carefully on top without overdoing it. Gently flip the steak and repeat the seasoning process on the other side to ensure even flavor. Just the same, I add salt, keeping in mind there was already some salt in the water, but it's important to reinforce the seasoning on the surface for a bolder flavor. I finish with more black pepper on the other side. This way, we make sure the steak is evenly seasoned all over. If you want, you can add other seasonings of your choice, like garlic powder or paprika. Now let's fry our steak and seal in all those flavors. Here in the heated skillet, I'm adding a generous drizzle of olive oil, which will add extra flavor to the meat. If you prefer, you can use cooking oil, but I prefer olive oil for its flavor and the golden finish it gives. Once the oil is hot, I carefully place the steak in to fry. Let it sear on one side until nicely browned without moving it, keeping the heat on medium. Then, I flip the steak with tongs and let the other side brown the same way. One side is well seared now, with a beautiful golden crust. The steak is now seared on the other side too, ready to be served. I now remove it from the skillet carefully, preserving all the meat's juiciness. And let's cut the steak to see how it turned out inside. Now I'll slice the steak with a sharp knife to show the perfect doneness. Just look how juicy it turned out, with the interior cooked just right, reminding you of that rich grilled flavor. The meat is very tender and easy to cut, with that look that pleases every palate. As you can see, it's a simple, practical recipe with impressive results. And to add even more of that grilled touch, I'll sprinkle a bit of coarse salt on top of the still hot steak. Now just enjoy this delicious steak. It goes great with rice, salad, or grilled vegetables. Well seasoned, juicy, and with an irresistible flavor. Perfect for any special meal. A dish like this is sure to impress guests and make the meal unforgettable.